What's up, everybody? It is Amrinder Singh. And before I start the lesson, I want to let you know that I started a new podcast. The podcast name is the Amrinder Singh Podcast. And this podcast is all in Punjabi. It's basically for the Punjabi people. But you can also get the benefit from this podcast because you need to listen Punjabi if you want to improve your listening skill, right? So this is a great way to practice of your listening you can do on this podcast. In this podcast, I'm not speaking so fast, like totally colloquial way. I'm gonna to speak like semi-formal, which means I would be speaking slower and more clear. So it's easier for you to understand compared to a Punjabi video or audio and bunch of people talking. This will be a little hard because they're speaking like so fast. But anyway, and you can also share this podcast with your Punjabi friends or Punjabi relatives or whatever. Basically, with those people you think their English is not that good enough. Because what I'm gonna talk about in this podcast, basically that's things mostly I learned through English, or basically I'm currently learning, and I'm going to discuss those things which almost doesn't exist in Punjabi language. So I want to provide that kind of information to Punjabi people. All right. Now let's kick this thing off. So this is beginner lesson number 5. So today we're going to talk about the verbs, how the verbs going to be changed in the future, right? In recent episodes we talk about like how the verb it changes in the past, right? How it changes in a negative. Today we're gonna learn about how it's going to be different in future. First, I'm gonna give you example with sentences, and at the end, I'm gonna discuss all the verbs we are discussing, like 20 verbs. I will tell you how they are going to be in the future, right? First, I'll I'll like describe with context, right? With examples. Because when you're learning something, you always need to relate with something. If you're not gonna relate, you're gonna forget. All right. So just memorizing a word is not gonna work. Once you memorize the words, you're gonna forget. So what you need to do is use them in context and make them relevant to something and keep doing that. So when you keep doing that, that's how your brain is going to remember them, because your brain is designed to be forget information. If it thinks it's not useful information, it's not important, it's going to forget. When you are getting the information or words, whatever you're learning again and again, that time your brain thinks, oh, this is the important. That's how they stores, right? Otherwise, it's not gonna store the information. All right. So whenever you're learning something, you need to make it relevant. All right. Then try to learn it again and again. Right. All right. So the first verb, again, we're gonna discuss the same, is pina, right? Which is drink. So in past, keep in mind when we are talking about past, it changes according to the object. Like in past, मैं चाय पीती or मैं दूध पीता. All right. For दूध is pita, for cha is piti, because दूध is masculine and cha is feminine, right? So that time we were focusing on the object. Object is a feminine or it's a masculine. Depends on that we change the verb. But in the future, we are not looking about objects. Now it depends on the subject, basically about the pronoun, right? So if you are a guy, you're gonna say, I will drink a tea. Even tea is feminine, right? You will say, मैं चाय पीऊंगा, right? पीऊंगा. If it's the milk, you will say the same, मैं दूध पीऊंगा, all right? Because now the verb is changing according to you. You are a guy, so it's going to be piyunga. If it's a girl, then it's going to be a piyungi, right? If it is a girl, it doesn't matter. She is talking about milk or a tea, So she would use piyungi. The verb is going to be piyungi, right? Because now it depends on the pronoun. All right, so let's discuss how the verbs they change according to the different pronouns, right? Different pronouns. First, if you are gonna use the man, right, which means I. So for guy, man, piyunga, right? Whatever you are drinking, you say man piyunga. Where would you drink? Anything, milk, tea, cold drink, whatever. For guys, piyunga. For girl, it's piyungi, right? Piyungi. So difference is ga and gi at the end, all right? Piyunga. So if you are gonna talk about third person, all right, he, right? If you're talking about guy, then it's o piuga, o dod piuga, or ja piuga, whatever. Now the difference is when you were using a man as a masculine, as a guy, it was piunga, but for third person it's piuga, piunga, piuga. So what is the difference? The difference is the nasal sound, right? The nasal sound. So when I was using man, then there was like a nasal sound with the verb like piunga, unga. When I was using like o, then there was a no nasal sound. It's uga, piuga, right? Again, keep in mind, it could be little different if somebody has a different accent, right? I'm talking about only my accent, the Malwa accent, all right? All right? O dod piuga or oja piuga. If it's a girl third person, then it's oja piugi, right? Piugi. O dod piugi, same thing. So yeah, it's same, but only nasal sound is different, right? So the next one is if you're gonna talk about third person and you wanna ask them like, will you drink the water, right? Now it depends. Are you using tusi or you are using tung? If you are using tusi, then it's going to be a piyongi. Tusi ja piyongi or tusi pani piyongi, whatever. Now the verb is piyongi, all right? Piyongi. If you are using tung, then it's going to be a tung ja piyinga, all right? If it's a girl, then use it tung ja piyingi, all right? For guys, piyinga. For girls, piyingi. But if you're using tusi, it doesn't matter. Now, you can use tusi with a bunch of people as a plural, or you can also use a tusi with one singular person if you want to give the respect to that person, all right? So with tusi, it doesn't matter as a girl or boy, all right? So it's going to be piongi. For girl, it's piongi, tung ja piengi. For guy, tung ja pienga. So are you paying the attention the verbs how they are changing, right? So yeah, it's pyungi. And so if you wanna use like asi, we will drink the water. Asi pani pimangi, right? Asi pani pimangi. Now it's pimangi, right? Or sometimes we say piyangi. Piyangi or pimangi, same thing. You can choose whatever you like. But if you're only using asi, that time you would use this one, pimangi or piyangi. All right. If you using they will drink the water. Now the pronoun in Punjabi, he, she, they is same o, but the verb tells you we're talking about plural or singular. Then it's going to be like o pani peengi, o pani peengi. All right. Now the verb is peengi. If you're talking about girls, you will say like o jar, o pani peengi, right? O pani peengi, all right? So if you pay attention of the verb, right? So let me try to say these sentences again, right? मैं पानी पीऊंगा for guy, for girl मैं पानी पीऊंगी, for guy, for third person वो पानी पीऊगा without nasal sound, for girl वो पानी पीऊगी, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਣੀ पीओगे, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਣੀ पीओगे, or you can say पीमोगे, same thing, पीओगे or पीमोगे, alright? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਣੀ पीओगे or पीमोगे. If you wanna use तुम to a guy, it's gonna be तुम पानी पिएगा or पीमेगा. For girl, तुम पानी पिएंगी or पीमेंगी, same thing. For ਅਸੀਂ पानी पीमांगे or पियांगे, whatever. For third person, as a plural, ओ पानी पीएंगे or पानी पीएंगी. Alright, that's how it is. Let's take another example. Khana, which means eat, when you eat something, alright? मैं खाऊंगा, you say खाऊंगा. Whatever you eat, whatever you wanna eat, right? खाऊंगा with the nasal sound. For girl, खाऊंगी, मैं खाऊंगी. For third person, as a guy, is going to ओ खाऊंगा. No nasal sound, alright? ओ खाऊंगा, for girl, ओ खाऊंगी, alright? If you wanna make the sentence, ओ स्याओ खाऊंगा, right? He will eat the apple. ओ स्याओ खाऊंगा, for girl, ओ स्याओ खाऊंगी, right? If you are going to eat the apple, I will eat the apple, then you will say मैं स्याओ खाऊंगा. If you're girl, you will say मैं स्याओ खाऊंगी, alright? Again, if you want to ask the question to the second person, which is तुम और तुसी स्याओ खाओगे, right? तुम स्याओ खाएगा, तू स्याओ खाएगी, right? So for ਅਸੀਂ स्याओ खावांगे, right? O as a plural, as a masculine, ओ स्याओ खाਣਗੇ. For feminine plural, ओ स्याओ खाਣगी, right? So if you pay attention, the verb is changing a couple of ways. खाऊंगा, खाऊंगी, खाऊगा, खाऊगी, खाएंगा, खाओगे, खाएंगी, खावांगे, खाणगे, खाणगियाँ, right? How many ways I change the verb? Just look at that. Just okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fucking 10 times. Alright? The same verb is changing fucking 10 times in future. So it's it's pretty hard because in English it's only one way. It doesn't matter whatever you are using, right? If you're using you, he, she, it doesn't matter. So future is going to be like a well, or maybe like I'm going to do something, right? So the verb is for any pronoun is like the same. But in Punjabi, it's changing fucking 10 times. That's crazy, right? Anyway, so let's take another example. So, karna, when you want to do something. ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ. I will do a work tomorrow, right? ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ. For girl is ਕਰੂੰਗੀ. For third person masculine singular, ਕਰੂਗਾ. For third person feminine singular, ਕਰੂਗੀ. For third person masculine or mixes plural, not singular, plural. For plural is ਕਰਨਗੇ. ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੇ. If you want to use to a girl, ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੀਆਂ. Third person feminine plural, ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੀਆਂ, right? The verb is ਕਰਨਗੀਆਂ. With ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੋਗੇ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੋਗੇ. With ਤੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੇਗਾ. With the feminine ਤੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੇਂਗੀ. With ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. Alright? So it's changing 10 times, guys. It's changing 10 times, right? So you need to pay attention. Just keep practicing with these. Yeah, it's okay if you are making mistakes, because not gonna lie, like it's hard because you're gonna forget. I think only thing you can learn this just practicing. I don't think you can learn just reading this kind of stuff, but it just allow you to know, okay, this is how it changes. You can pay attention, but when you are having a practice, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna learn. That's how you learn. Listen, Punjabi people, while they are speaking, listen something and try to speak. So you are not gonna like correct yourself in one or 2 months. It's gonna take a year, man, maybe more than a year. You That's how you improve if you start speaking. So yeah, so these were the verbs I want to give you examples. All right, so now I'm gonna give you more examples. Only one way. It's too hard to tell our same verbs in 10 times. All right. So basically, you can use the same formula with any other verbs. Right? How it's going to be changed with the masculine, third person masculine singular, third person masculine plural, whatever. Right? Now I'm gonna tell you only one way. This is masculine singular. All right. So how verb changes in masculine singular, the 20 verbs we described. All right. You can use different ways. Just apply the same method I just told you. All right. So first verb again, we already described that one. Pina is going to be piunga. Khana is going to be khaunga. Khedna means khedunga. Jana means jaunga. Auna means aunga. Dekhna means dekhunga. Karna means karunga. Sauna means saunga. Uthna means uthunga. Jagna means jagunga. Khadna means khadunga. Baithna means baithunga. Turna means turunga. Pajna means pajunga. Chalauna means chalaunga. Banauna means banaunga. Lena means launga. Dena means deunga. Pana means paunga. Uttarna means uttrunga. Charna means charunga. Alright. So these were the examples of the masculine singular. Right. How you can make the masculine, not masculine, I mean like a feminine singular, right? The same thing when we were making a masculine, we were using a sound at the end. Unga, unga, ga, 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 a. With a feminine singular, it's going to be e sound. Gi, ki, ki, e, right? Ungi, ungi, like Lena for guy, longa for girl is longi, right? If you're talking about third person, then there's no nasal sound. It's going to be uloga, right? Loga. Because you are using third person, there's no nasal sound. When you are talking about like using man, then there's a nasal sound. My longa is unga. For third person, is uga, uloga, right? So that's the difference. Basically, you can apply the same rule with all the verbs, right? So yeah, keep in mind it changes 10 times in future. There's also another way. We already described how you can make a sentence in the future. Yeah, so another way is like if you want to say, I will come to your house tomorrow. In Punjabi, kal nu main tere ghar aunga, right? Kal nu main tere ghar aunga. Now you used aunga, right? If you're a guy. Well, how you can use a different way? You can say like kal nu main tere ghar auna. This is also the same thing. It's future tense, all right? But the thing is, the second one, the book didn't tell you that. You can also use that way, all right? Now, in the second type, the verb doesn't change. It doesn't matter what are you using. If you're using a singular masculine, a singular feminine, whatever. If you're a girl, you would say the same. मैं कल लूँ तेरे घर आना. Or if you are a guy, you would say मैं कल लूँ तेरे घर आना. Same, right? In this way. If you are talking about like two people, you will say ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਆਉਣਾ, right? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਆਉਣਾ. So now in the second type, you don't need to worry about. There's only one way, right? You are using basic verb, the main structure of the verb, right? So if you wanna go somewhere else, you will say, ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ, right? I will go somewhere else tomorrow. ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ. Or you can say, ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਜਾਊਂਗਾ, right? So the only slightly difference is when you say jaunga or jaungi, whatever this type, it is kind of more strong. When you say jana, it's kind of, you have this thing to do for tomorrow, but it's not that strong. This is only one difference, but you can use whatever you like. So for you guys, I think this is more uh, easier. Basically, who are learning Punjabi, I think it's better for you to use just मैं कल नूं काम करना, मैं आना, right? It's easier because you don't need to worry about the verb, right? You don't need to like worry about to change the verb fucking 10 times in this way, all right? And the bad thing is for you that your book doesn't tell that. Your book is only telling you to use the first way I was telling you. I was trying to explain, all right? And again, it's also different, depends on the different accent, right? So yeah, I think you also need to learn first way. When you are listening somebody, you can pay attention on that one. If you're a beginner, you feel like it's a little harder for you to like memorize like a word, what kind of verb structure you need to use. If you're using like a third person, second person, whatever, just use the second one, right? Just use the basic verb, all right? So that's how it is. So, if you think you are getting the value from this podcast and you want to support this podcast, you can support it through PayPal or Patreon. Links are in the description. Everything will be appreciated. If you are not able to support this podcast, then you can give it to 5-star if you're listening it on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Because if you give this podcast to 5-star, then Apple Podcast or Spotify recommend this podcast to the more people. So it would also help this podcast to grow more. At the end, if you want to learn about Punjabi pronouns, then check out my ebook. Link is in the description. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson and learned something new today. I'll be back with another lesson in another day.